We've just returned from a cabin retreat over the weekend, and something has really clicked and changed inside of me, and I'm so excited to tell you about it. All year, I've been on a minimalism journey and now a slow living journey, and I'm learning so much about myself in the process. Something that I've started doing is keeping a journal. And when I think about certain things, I write it down. And this has been so helpful in me not forgetting some really big revelations that I've been having. And a lot of the thoughts that come to me are when I'm outside in nature, whether I'm working on the farm or hanging laundry. No matter what I'm doing, these thoughts come to me and I need to write them down. Currently, as you can see, I'm getting rid of a whole bunch of things. I'm going through and doing more decluttering of my house. And I feel like this is just so important for me to be doing right now because it's going to help me live the life that I want to live. I'm going to be honest with you, I have really struggled with my minimalism journey. And my goal is not to be a typical minimalist who owns nothing. That's not what I envision at all. But I have been living with so much clutter for such a long time, and I feel like it's finally getting under control. However, I've had many roadblocks along the way and setbacks. Something interesting happened when I was talking to my daughter on the phone about this. And I was telling her how much progress I was making. And I can't remember the exact conversation, but she told me, "Mom, I think you're actually just getting rid of your poverty mindset." And that has really stuck with me. I hadn't considered that I had a poverty mindset, but after digging deeper into this, I realized she's absolutely true, and this is what has been holding me back. You see, my life hasn't always been as beautiful as it currently is, and I have been through a lot of trauma and hard times in my life, and I've definitely been through a lot of poverty. And this has definitely affected me, and I'm finding out that this is why I have hoarding tendencies. As I spend time out in nature, I live in communion with spirit, with God, and these ideas come into my mind, and I have to go in the house and write them down. And it has been such a powerful journey that I am still on right now. And one of the interesting things that I've been doing, which has really been so inspiring, is to write things down as a question rather than a statement. And it's just been so eye-opening. I took some footage at the cabin that we stayed at to include in this video so that you could be on the journey with me. So I'd really love to tell you some of the questions that I've written in my journal that have really got me thinking. What would happen if I no longer had these belongings? Would I die? Would I have less of a good life? Would I miss them? Would I feel free? Would I have more time? Maybe these things, these possessions, are doing the exact opposite of my intentions. Maybe true wealth is freedom. What do you consider valuable? Time with loved ones, time to be inspired, more sleep, less stress. Maybe if I change my spending habits, I can save money for more important things, bigger things. Is the system set up to keep us trapped in debt and working our lives away? Could I be happy with less? Would more truly make me happy? Think about what you truly want, what you truly crave. What is holding you back? What would it take to develop the life of your dreams? Is it a bigger house? Maybe your current home could seem bigger if you had less in it. Whose standard are we trying to live up to? We would like to think that we aren't affected by all the millions of advertisements we are bombarded with on a regular basis, but we most certainly are. Why do we think our lives are not good enough without more and better things? What if we believed that what we had was enough? That we simply need to care for our belongings? Are we chasing a lie? That our lives will be better once we have the bigger house, more expensive car, take a vacation once a year? What if we didn't need a vacation? The current cultural belief is that both partners need to work full time in order to afford the cost of living. What if this isn't true? What can we change in order to have a less expensive life? What unnecessary privileges are stealing our money and our time? Are there subscriptions we can cancel? Can we change our eating habits? Can we stop buying unnecessary things? More clothing, makeup, skincare, the latest trends? How is social media affecting our consumption? The interesting thing about asking myself these questions is that one question leads to another question and then leads to another question. And it's just so fascinating to work this way with myself and ask myself these questions and kind of get down to what's been holding me back and my core beliefs. I think as humans, we actually need a lot less than we think we do. And I think that our lives could be more meaningful and we could potentially accomplish more of our dreams and goals if we had less to care for in our homes. while staying in the cabin, we spent a lot of cozy time together as a family. And I'm the type to go to bed early and wake up early. And I had some beautiful morning time by myself where I sat outside and listened to the amazing sounds of nature. And I sat in contemplation of these thoughts. Becoming a content creator, one of the things that was so exciting was getting my first sponsorship and working with brands. However, as time has passed, I have come to realize that owning these items has not been as fulfilling as I thought it would be, and that really it's just more that I have to care for in my already full home. And now that my channel has grown and I'm getting more offers and potential deals, I'm realizing more and more that that is not the path for me. And I'm turning these sponsorship deals down. You see, my whole journey with becoming a YouTuber started out through a spiritual awakening, if you will. And there are many reasons why I started YouTube, but at the core of it, I wanted to have some type of impact in the world and in other people's lives. And I feel like with sharing my thoughts, sharing my true thoughts with you about needing less, wanting less, being able to have a better life if we change the way we live, I feel like this is truly what I'm here for. I'm the type of person that was raised to believe that if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I live with the same old ratty towels for years and years because I don't feel like they need to be replaced until they absolutely do. And I'm the kind of person that is thrifty and frugal, and I like to save money. And I don't know, I just feel like things are really shifting for me and I'm finding my true purpose. Before we went and stayed at the cabin together as a family, my 15-year-old son had sort of an inspirational dream that he wanted to share with me. And it was based on something that my husband and I already want, but he really added to it. And what it was is that he sees us buying land together as a team. My husband and I want to save for our own property because the place that we're living at now, as much as we love it, is not ours and there is a time limit. And so my 15-year-old son wants to dedicate himself to going in on the land with us. And this really opened up time to dream and think together about what could be possible for our future, for our whole family. And this got me thinking about how in today's society, it's so complicated that we all expect all of our kids to grow up and move out and start their own lives and get their own homes and their own cars. And in today's economy, it just is more and more of a scary place for our kids to go out into the world and live this dream that once was and is becoming harder and harder. I started to think to myself, what if this isn't just some crazy dream? What if this actually could happen? And what if we could buy a property that became a generational home, a generational homestead, if you will, where we would grow our own food, possibly farm, and maybe build some small cabins on the property for people to live? It's got me thinking that the future that we are headed towards could look different if we change our dream collectively, if we change our vision and we start changing the way that we live, the things that we buy, the things we think we need, and we start putting our money to better use by putting it aside for future goals. These are just thoughts that are swirling around in my mind that I wanted to share with you guys because I really truly am changing. And now that we're done our beautiful cabin trip and we're back home, I am dedicated to changing my life. And that starts with more decluttering and more getting things out of my way. Things that are not serving me. If you go back and watch my decluttering videos, I had such a hard time letting go of things. And now those items just look like a roadblock. They're just in my way, preventing me from having the life that I want to have. Once I got back home, I immediately got to decluttering, going through my things, and being absolutely cutthroat about it because I have a clear vision of what my life could be, and I don't think that these items are worthy of standing in the way of my future. If you struggle like I do, and it's hard for you to let go of things, and it's hard to stop going out and buying things, I challenge you to get really clear about a vision for your future, because I really think that that is going to help guide you in your journey if you're on a similar path. I'm still a work in progress. I still tend to want to go to the thrift store and get more clothes and more things. And it's hard for me to stop myself. And this is where the journaling comes in. This is where self-reflection comes in. And I'm not perfect and I make mistakes, but I'm on the road to being a better me. Thanks for joining me today. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in next week's video.